All right, welcome back to Orange Peelers, the greatest podcast in the whole world. Zane,
Absolutely.
how are you?
I'm good. I'm pumped. Derby week.
Derby week. You're
Roosters
in the
versus
South, kid.
Rabbitohs at Allianz, or Trallianz, I should say. Big game coming up.
Who's winning? Give an early prediction.
Like
Are you going to say
South. Oh, of course I'm saying South.
Yeah?
It's been in the news a lot over the week. You know, some decisions have been made, but, you know, silently confident. Silently confident.
Silently confident.
Well, not anymore.
0-2, and you're confident. I respect
Yeah, well, got to win at some point. Got to
Yeah.
win at some point.
Tell
May
that
as
to
well
t-
start it now.
Tell that to Tigers fans. Let's go straight into the round one review, Zane. Obviously, actually, before we get into reviewing each game, I'm going to jump straight to our predictions. And I won the week.
You did.
I won the week.
I
so
got 5 because I made some dumb decisions. Remind me to never tip the Dragons or the Tigers ever again.
Yeah.
That was a dumb move.
So
but
we both went 5 from 8 in the tips, but I
got the
landed
try
more
scorers.
try scorers and margins. So I finished with 13 out of 24. Obviously, 1 point for the team, 1 point for the margin, 1 point for the try scorers. I finished with 13 out of 24, and you were close. You got 10 out of 24. So that gave me the win, and that puts me 2-0 on the season, which is unfamiliar territory for me because last year you flogged me.
Wait and see.
But let's get straight into... Well, we're not getting straight into the games, but we're going to get into the games. Broncos Souths, obviously your team, the first team to talk
I was
about.
just writing up my 5, 4, 3, 2,
Oh,
1s,
yeah,
but I'll
of
worry
course.
about that a bit later. Yes, so it was the first half was a bit of a sleeper fun, but the second half it woke up a bit more, but Broncos were just too good in the end.
Yeah, what do you make of...
Souths, just same old. Like, they just don't look like they improved on what they did in Vegas.
Yeah.
Like, I thought they defended okay. Like, it wasn't horrific defense, but the attack was just appalling.
Yeah, there wasn't much attack. I feel like early in the game, and we always talk about Cody and Latrell, how as soon as
The Broncos shut them down very well. I
Yeah,
thought.
we always talk about how when
Very well.
when they're angry, they tend to fall off the game. But I feel like Cody Walker was angry earlier than usual, and so he was off his game a bit early. Latrell as well, I thought. He scored that insane try at the end. Credit to
did,
him, his
yes.
100th try as well.
But I just feel like
But
the
I
Broncos
thought he was a bit
just-
lazy.
What I'm going to say about South, I feel like teams have worked out how to beat them.
Yeah.
And they need to change some things. They really do, because I feel like teams just pressure the halves, and it's been working.
Yeah,
Pressure Illis, who's inexperienced, and you pressure Walker because he just gets the shits whenever he's under pressure.
Yeah.
Can't do his thing. And it's a worrying sign.
big
Teams just seem to have worked out how to beat South.
and you
That's
could
exactly what the Broncos did.
And you could say the same thing about, how they ended their season last year, and it was a bit of maybe teams had worked out, and there was also a bit of off-field stuff. Are you concerned at all that is there still off-field
Well,
stuff
they've
going
said
on?
that they've addressed the off-field stuff, but then there's other people at the club who said there was never issues in the first place.
Yeah,
So
well-
I honestly don't know what's going on.
Did you-
I'm not a part of the club. I'm just a supporter.
Did you see the Josh Mansour
I did see
interview?
that interview.
What do you make of that?
Well, again, I can't comment because I don't know Dimitri. I've never spoken to the guy. But
For context for the listeners, if you haven't seen the Josh Mansour thing, go to the buy round and watch it.
yeah, well, it's
Josh
all over.
Mansour-
You probably have seen it.
Yeah,
at this
chances
point.
are. But Josh, just for the people that haven't, Josh Mansour got asked about just like his exit from the club, and he
Yeah.
sort of said how,
Which is a shame when he said the way found out he was leaving,
Yeah.
and it was just in the photo montage. That's
yeah,
pretty
apparently
shitty, isn't it?
apparently
Like,
they
that's-
played a photo montage of like leaving players, and he was the first one in the montage, and he hadn't been
No,
told that he was leaving.
That would have
That's
been
how he
heartbreaking,
found
mate.
out.
That's
And then he
terrible.
just said how like when he first came, he had a really good preseason and was told he'd be in the lineup, and then
he just got
he
dropped
got
last
named,
minute.
and then Captain Drun got dropped, told he was being rested for round 1, which makes no sense. Like, you don't need to be rested for round 1 because it's round 1.
Yeah, it's-
And then the same thing sort of happened a few weeks later where he got named, got told he was playing, and then Captain Drone got dropped. And so there was a bit of, I guess you could say, miscommunication and falling out between him and Mr. Jason Demetrio. But
Who do you think he's under pressure at the moment?
I guess any coach
Because I'm
not
just
winning is
saying
under
they did
pressure.
extend him for 3 years at the end of last year, even
Yeah,
after
okay.
our fall off. So they've
Yeah.
obviously got confidence in him.
Yeah, but
But I've been saying, people have been saying if South misses out, he'll be gone.
I
Pre-season, I said no, he wouldn't unless we finish bottom 4. If we came
Yeah.
9th or 10th again, I reckon he'd have his job, but he'd be under a lot of pressure going into next season.
feel like if they miss the 8, he could.
After all the news recently, I feel like if we miss the 8, he might be gone.
Yeah, I just feel like the mix of the media's portrayal of him at the moment, and then just if they miss the 8 as well, I feel like if the media can do what they do to a lot of coaches.
But just the thing is,
It'll be
South
sad.
just haven't changed the way they've played since last year.
Yeah,
Like,
and
they
that's
haven't-
what's concerning. Like, why? What?
Like they just
what
seem to
didn't
be
change?
trying to do the same things that last year that worked at the early parts, but just aren't working anymore.
And even
They
just
need to change it.
even just little changes, like obviously Lockie Ellis is a big one in the headlines,
Which
at the
we'll get
moment,
to, but,
because
yeah.
reportedly he's getting dropped this week. Team lists obviously aren't out yet,
But pretty certain at
like,
this point.
You've got Lockie Ellis at 7, who's meant to be the long-term halfback. He's always, come in and out.
Best halfback in the club since Adam Reynolds.
Yeah,
according
like
to
he
Demetrio.
was meant to be Adam Reynolds' replacement,
Well,
right?
he is the best
and
replacement since then.
he's been in and out of headlines, pressure on and off him since Adam Reynolds left. I think it's fair to say.
Which is a shame. That's
Yeah, 100%. And I feel like Ilias has ability. He's not the worst
he's a
player in the
good
world.
player,
Yeah.
like,
but
he's
but the
just-
point I'm trying to get to is, if you're trying to have this 7 become, the future of your club and that sort of thing, why would you do things to almost sabotage him? Like put Keon Kolomatangi, who's his second rower, to the other side of the field. Like, I feel like they haven't done him any favours. Do you know what I mean?
I know they haven't. And the forwards just haven't been performing lately.
Yeah,
Like, it's just a very
100%.
inexperienced forward pack. I feel
Yeah.
like he needs a more experience. Like, we've obviously got Tom Burgess still there, who's off at the end of the year. And Totola, I guess you could say, is
Yeah.
experience as well. But apart from that, it's like
Yeah,
David Mwali, like
Shaq Mir.
yeah, Shaq Mitchell, I guess Harvey, I guess experienced, I guess, but he's
Yeah.
more comes off the bench. But
Yeah, I just don't get the logic. And I think it was Alex McKinnon also said it during the week that, like, if you're a half, your back row is almost your best friend. Like, the half back row
Absolutely.
combination, especially in the modern game, you look at, like Ola Kawatu at Manly, Kickout when he was at Penrith, just all these insane second rowers, the halves rely on them so much. And to take, and defensively as well, especially, and to take Ilias's back row and move him to the other side of the field, that's an already stacked edge with Alex Johnson, Cody Walker, Latrell out the back.
Jack Whiten's coming.
Jack
in
Whiting's
this
going to be
week.
the centre. Like, I just think that was unnecessary. And with Campbell
I
Graham out
just
injured
think
as
they should
well.
have given him a few more weeks of Jack White in there
Yeah.
first. That they've seen.
It's very early.
I know
If
it
you
is.
told me at the start of the season,
I don't know if
that
they just want him
Lockie-
to get some reserve grade games done, so he's good by the back
Yeah, I
end of the year,
guess.
confident by the back end of the year, or if they just want a fresh start with Hawkins.
If you
It's
told
one
me,
of those two.
if you told me at the
situations, I
start of the year that Lockie Ellis was going to get dropped before Drew Hutchison at the Bulldogs,
Well,
I would have laughed.
think.
It's so
I
early.
was expecting it to happen at some point this year,
But
I didn't think this
weeks
early.
in,
No, I
that's
didn't,
what it doesn't surprise. If it happened in 10 weeks' time, it would be less surprising. 2 weeks is nothing in a rugby
I
league
know,
season.
but
Like,
how about we talk
We,
about
like,
the Broncos
well,
though?
we answered the question last week of how long would you wait to make changes, and we both said
said,
3 to 4 at least.
Yes.
So 2 weeks against two
Panic button
quality
very early.
sides. It's massive. Like, you lost to the grand finalists. It's not like you lost to the Bulldogs or the Tigers.
I know.
It's insane in the week of the Derby as well. Oh, Jack White comes
They're
back
playing mind
in.
games. That's what Jason Demetriou is doing.
Maybe he'll be named in the reserves and come in
never
late.
know.
You never know. But yeah, let's talk about the Broncos. I thought they were very good.
Very good. Not their best, but they're very good.
Reece Walsh,
is just,
yeah.
he doesn't even try and he's good.
Yeah,
And
he
no
had
one
a
got
very
hand
good
on him
game.
in either of his tries.
Yeah.
He's just unbelievable.
Anyone trying to, you can hate Reece Walsh.
I can't hate him when he's playing.
Yeah, but
I
like,
just smile and
if anyone wants to
enjoy
hate
every
him,
time he runs the
you
ball.
can hate him, but you cannot deny how good Reece Walsh is at rugby league. He's so good at rugby
Every time he
league.
has the ball, I have to watch.
Yeah.
Like, no matter what I'm doing,
He's
I
so
have to watch what he
exciting.
does.
He's an
I know.
entertainer. I honestly, I don't even hate him. I like him. I know
Yeah.
other people hate him. I like Reece Walsh.
Yeah.
I want that out in
I
the
don't
air.
have an issue with him.
He's a very, very good player. And, people say maybe he's a bit arrogant and stuff. If I
Well, he
was
has
that
every
good at
right-
rugby
he
league,
has
I'd be
every-
arrogant
yes,
as
he
well.
has every right to be
He has
arrogant.
every right to be
It's the same
arrogant.
with Latrell.
Yeah.
Has every right to be.
Oh, well, Latrell sometimes has the right to be. When he has games like he did on the weekend when he's all lazy, maybe don't be a bit arrogant. What about him and Walsh having a cuddle at the end
Yeah,
of the
that
game?
was cute, wasn't it?
That reminded me of
And they got
Cody
their,
Walker
they got
and
their
Lachie
cramps.
Lewis. They got
Yeah.
the,
Oh,
the
dear.
cramps together. Anyone else from the Broncos that stood out? Actually, I thought Paddy Carrigan had a very underrated
He
game.
did have a good game.
Not many
Selwyn
people
Cobbo
talk
had
about
it.
that.
Dean
Yeah.
Mariner
Dean-
absolutely owned Alex Johnson.
Oh,
I have
isn't
to
he a
say.
speedster? He's fast.
That's
Dean
the negative
Mariner.
about Johnson. He's not as quick as what he used to be. 'Cause I
Yeah.
remember when he was coming through, everyone was saying he's one of the fastest blokes in the game.
Yeah,
Definitely
so
not the case anymore.
I don't think
He's
of
like-
Alex Johnson when thinking about speed.
Well,
I
earlier
just
in his
think of
career, he
finisher.
was. Earlier
Yeah.
in his career, it was his speed. But now it's more just his experience and his try
Yeah.
throwing ability.
He can
But
catch the ball and
Mariner
put it down.
Yeah.
No,
He did
Dean
destroy
Mariner was
Johnston.
very good. But yeah, there wasn't really any other standouts for me that I can think of. What about you?
Reynolds was just,
Yeah.
he just knows how to beat
Yeah,
South.
obviously,
Played,
Haas,
there for
Reynolds.
10 years. He knows all their players.
He always
It's
plays
just-
good against South
Oh,
as
he
well.
he knows
Yeah.
knows their weaknesses.
I thought Ezra Mann was quiet.
Yeah,
I've been expecting a
he
bit more from him in the last 2 weeks, but that's getting nitpicky. Like, they're 1-1 now. They lost in Vegas, didn't they? To Roosters, hey.
Yes, and they play Penrith this week.
Yeah, grand
Sure.
final
That's gonna be a
rematch
good
at
game.
Penrith.
That's on Thursday, isn't it?
That's Thursday night footy, yeah. So get excited for that. But let's go to the other most depressing game of the week. This time it's my team that lost.
I did miss a lot of this game because I was at the club, but I was on the screen, like at the club. But
Yeah.
I wasn't paying attention. I was looking up occasionally.
Well,
I
it was
saw a knockout off the kickoff of the game.
Oh, Pawasa Famasuli. Thoughts and
Yeah.
prayers to him. Literally, we caught the kickoff. He took the hit up off the, like, not even a tackle, and then he took the hit up. Literally, the run off the
actual contact. I
kickoff.
just looked up and saw
He
it
got
on
just,
the ground. I was
like, it
oh,
wasn't
geez.
illegal contact, but I think it was a head clash. And just,
Yeah, something. Then obviously
He knocked
Nakora on kick out.
Yeah.
How was that not a send off?
I don't know.
In
You
the
tell
club,
me.
in the club, the whole club reacted when they showed on the replay like, ooh, like it was loud, and I don't know how he didn't get sent off.
Can I talk about that for a second?
That was
'Cause
Latrell sent off.
I was at the
That was Ria
game.
Hargraves sent off.
Oh, 100%.
Absolutely, it would have been.
Dead set. But in the Sharks' defense, and obviously, like, I agree, probably sin bin at least, and he did get
Oh yeah,
sin
no,
bin.
it was a sin bin.
But,
Yeah, but
shout out to the referee Ziggy, who I have plenty of bones to pick with, Zane. I don't want to sit here all day bagging the refs. But on that play, and this is almost in the defense of the Sharks, why on earth did it take an entire set to play out before they went back and made that call?
That happens occasionally.
They literally,
doesn't it? Happens all the time.
He completely took kick out. There's 2 touches. There's a referee. There's a bunker, and then like that play sort of continued on a little bit. Then there was a stoppage, and then Sharks got halfway through their set, and then shout out to Ziggy of Must Live in Cronulla fame, stops the game and goes, actually no, we're gonna sin bin this bloke, and it's a Bulldogs penalty. Like nearly a minute later.
know.
It's insane. It is insane. That's not the only time that Ziggy made a questionable decision, Zane. Him getting in the way of... he didn't get in the way of Kicker. He got in the way of Braden Trindle, and it stopped the Bulldogs try. Did you see that one?
No, I didn't.
Really?
I need
You
to
haven't seen
rewatch
that?
this game because
So-
I only saw bits and pieces of
So
it.
Bulldogs had an attacking raid down the left edge and got Kickow through a hole. And Kickow, like, literally, this is 10 metres out from the try line. Kickow's 5 metres out, and the only person in front of him is Braden Trindle. But Ziggy, the referee, was in the way and was in between Kickow and Braden Trindle, and then Trindle sort of milked it a little bit and tried to get around the ref. Kickow scores the try because Trindle didn't get to him. It goes upstairs as no try. They're reviewing the obstruction by the referee, and the bunker decides that, you know, Trindle didn't get a fair chance at tackling a bloke double his size, no try.
Didn't that happen last year as well in Broncos Roosters?
Yeah, I think it has happened before, but you're telling me that the bunker can't sit there and go, oh, well, it's Kickow and Trindle. It would have been a try. Like, you look at penalty...
I don't think that's in their position.
They
to
do
judge.
it with
You never
penalty
know.
tries.
You never know.
You talk about you need 100% certainty. I'll tell you this for free.
But like, if-
I am
say like
100%
Tom-
certain that Viliami Kickow would have steamrolled Braden Trindle.
Oh, I reckon he would have as well. But it's the same scenario if it was like Tom Weaver going up against Payne Arth.
Yeah,
They could have said, oh, Tom Weaver could have definitely tackled him here.
But
which overall, I
let's
probably...
use common sense. Thomas Weaver's not tackling Payne Arth's one-on-one. And Braden Trindle, respectfully, is not tackling Viliami Kickow one-on-one. And I'm not trying to bag
never
out
know.
Trindle's defence. I wouldn't be able to do it either. I don't think anyone is able to tackle Kickow one-on-one.
You could have put a big
No
shot on,
half.
caused him to lose the ball.
Nah,
Never
it's-
know what could have happened.
Shout out to Ziggy. Get out of the way. Just get out of the way. It's not that hard. You're a referee at the NRL level. Read the game. Is it that hard to tell what's happening? If you see Viliami Kickow hitting a hole, get out of the way.
But what were your thoughts on both sides?
I
We'll start with
thought-
the Bulldogs, actually.
I thought the Bulldogs improved on round 1. I thought they improved on 2023,
Who did they play
especially.
this week? They're Gold Coast at Belmore.
Titans at Belmore this
I might
weekend.
be at that game.
I think
Possibly.
lots of people are going to be at that game. Could be a content creator meet and greet happening.
it could be.
But yeah, in this game, I thought the Bulldogs, like, they lost 25-6, so they lost by 19 points. They didn't deserve to lose by
Currently
19. It
bottom of
blew
the table.
They are currently in last. It blew out a little bit, like a little bit more than it probably deserved. It was 6-all at half time. I think the big thing for the Bulldogs is the fatigue. It's happened 2 weeks in a row where they've defended so well. Like, the defense it's just so improved. But in the last 5 to 10 minutes of each half, the fatigue sets in. especially in the
They
second half,
concede.
and they concede the tries.
And what about the other?
In their defence, they were
Yeah,
playing
hang on,
without their front row forward. They played with a 3-man bench for the
True,
whole game.
yeah.
But I just think there was improvement. Taff had a better game than he did against Eels. I thought Matt Burton had a really good game. He ran the ball a bunch. It was good to see. He's so dangerous when he runs the ball.
Burton.
Yeah, he's so big. Everyone forgets he's actually a big boy.
I know he's pretty tall.
I don't even
very
think
tall.
Burton realizes how big he was. I feel like somebody just
But the
needs to
other
grab
issue-
him
the other issue
and
I have with
shake
this
him
game-
and say, "Hey, Burton, you're 6 foot. Run the ball, bro. Just run the ball because he's so dangerous."
The other issue I have with this game, Nico Hines getting 6 Dally M points again for doing absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Like you see our 5-4-3-2-1s. I don't think any of us have him.
I didn't have
even
Nico
getting a point.
If I had to give a
honestly-
3-2-1 on the Bulldog Sharks game,
And it's, again, the
Nico would have
same-
been lucky to be in
It's
there.
the same situation where there's no other players at the Sharks who stood out.
See, my
They
issue,
all just did their
my
job,
issue is
and
though
then
that
Hines is the starter.
there were Sharks players that did have good games, like Teague Wilton, Talakai, even Ronaldo. There were plenty of Sharks players that deserved points ahead of Hines. This wasn't even the case of, nobody stood out, so let's just give Hines the points. People have been robbed of points here. I thought Teague Wilton had such a good game. Talakai had a really good game. There were Sharks players that nearly made my 5 points this week, and they didn't end up making it because as the games went on over the weekend, there were better players. But I had 2 Sharks players in my 5 and not Nico after the Bulldog Sharks game. Nico was
Sorry,
never
I'm
in my
just a
5.
bit distracted right
The
now
way
trying
I
to
do
write this
it,
list.
the way I do it is game by game. I'll put in the players, and the Bulldog Sharks game was the second game of the week. I didn't have Nico Hines in the top 5 players out of the first 2 games, yet he gets 6 points in that game. I just don't get it. It is a flawed system. There's no doubt about it. I just don't understand. But the Sharks, obviously, I've talked. Oh, the other thing I want to say about the Bulldogs is Drew Hutchison. He was still average again, in my opinion. I feel like it's between him and Toby Sexton for the halfback role. Toby Sexton wasn't perfect in New South Wales Cup. I think at the moment, Drew Hutchison's better for defence, but Sexton would be better for attack. And it seems like Cameron Serrato's going with the defence. So I don't know if that's going to change anytime soon. I thought Kickow had his best game as a Bulldog, so far, including last year. He had a really good game. Obviously should have scored that try. But just as a game overall, it was a bit scrappy. There were plenty of, as you said, you didn't see much of it, but there was so much push and shove, every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Reid Marnie was in the middle of it all. He was an angry boy. But overall, Sharks deserved to win. As I said, I don't think they deserved to win 25-6.
And I think
but
they
did deserve to win
as well.
Yeah,
Like, I think
100%.
everyone would've.
And the Bulldogs' curse at Shark Park continues. They still haven't won there since 2011.
Wow.
That's last time they won there. Nathan Gardner was the Sharks' fullback. That's a throwback. But let's move on. Unless you have anything you want to add to that game. You didn't see much of
Bulldogs
it.
versus Parramatta here. I'm not Bulldogs
Panthers,
versus
mate.
Parramatta. Yeah, Panthers.
I know
versus
you can.
Parramatta,
I know it's
sorry.
easy to confuse Bulldogs and Panthers because they're both premiership threats. But yeah, Panthers, Parramatta at Penrith. Obviously, Panthers won this one.
Obviously, Parra been in the lead half time.
Yeah,
Parra just always seemed to compete against Penrith, but in the end, Penrith were just too strong.
yeah. Obviously, I think we said last week surely Panthers weren't going to lose back-to-back games, and they didn't. Eels got up for it. I thought Eels had plenty of good performances from the players, Dylan Brown, Sean Lane. There were plenty of Eels players that had good games, but Panthers, they're a hard team to beat, especially at Penrith. It was a sold-out Bluebet Stadium, and Panthers were just too good. Who do you think was the best player in this game?
Well, I thought Gutherson had a really good
Yeah?
game, despite not winning.
Yeah, that's
Also,
fair.
Moses Leota. It's cracking.
Yeah,
it
is he the
lately.
fastest front rower in the NRL?
Oh, I don't want to say I don't think so, but
He's got some toe on him, the big
yeah,
boy.
he put it on Friday night.
I thought Isaiah Yo had a really good game. That crossfield kick
Yeah,
to
he's
to
got a kick
Rupa.
on him, doesn't he, now?
Yeah, very much. He's
Clearly, it was just consistent as always.
Yeah.
He didn't have a bad game, but he didn't have a
feel like
outstanding game.
Luai. There's a bit of chat around Luai. Should he got suspended? Obviously, he had the
Yeah.
trip incident, and
Yeah.
then he had
There's
the high
another
tackle.
suspension I got to talk about with a game coming up soon.
Yeah.
I think is completely ridiculous.
Do-
But
I
for now, we're
think
talking about
I've
this
got
one.
the same one in mind, but
Yeah.
the Luai one. Let's talk about so obviously both
That it was a trip, and he should have been suspended.
both
for it.
incidents he hasn't been suspended, but yeah, talk to me about the trip.
It was a
first.
trip.
Yeah.
It was an obvious trip.
See, I feel
And
like
any other player, if they weren't from Penrith, would have been suspended for
I
it.
feel like the trip wasn't as bad as it's being made out to
Yeah,
be.
but the rule
Because
is
he
you
didn't trip
cannot.
him over.
Doesn't matter. The rule is you can't
Yeah,
trip,
fair.
and he's tripped.
But he didn't trip. Define a trip. He put the leg out, but he didn't trip over.
Oh, but it was an attempted
It
trip.
was an
we'll say
attempted
that
trip.
then.
I'm happy.
Doesn't matter if he accidentally does it. It was a trip.
If he had no carryover
simple as
points,
that.
I'd be happy for the trip to just be fined if it was a one-off incident. The high tackle, however.
Yeah, same scenario. How is he not suspended for that?
Yeah.
2 incidents, and he gets cleared of both.
It was pretty similar to Nikora's, maybe a little
Not
less. Yeah.
Not as hard, I don't think.
But Nikora got, I think, 2 weeks. Luai deserved at least a week. It was a blatantly high tackle. It was blatantly illegal. And when you pair it with the trip incident, he should be facing at least 1 to 2 weeks.
Yes.
At least.
I don't know why. Like,
Especially when there's other players in the league on the weekend getting suspended for much less, which
I
we
know.
will get to. But yeah, I thought
I
Luai
genuinely
probably
want
deserves
to
1
ask
to 2
Andrew
weeks.
Abdo, like, why is he cleared here?
Yeah.
Like, honestly,
Is it because he's
why is
Jerome
Jerome Hughes suspended and Luai not?
Yeah, it's
That's what I want to say.
it doesn't make sense. I'd like, as I said, I feel like the tripping one makes sense. I could live with him just getting fined for that, but the high tackle deserved at least a week. And then when you combine the incidents, it should be at least 1 to 2 weeks suspension. I just don't understand
Especially
how
with
he's
2
not
incidents,
suspended.
that's what I mean.
Yeah, and that's
With 2
yeah,
incidents,
100%.
should be suspended.
2 incidents. I don't know how you like. Why is it in the system that if you have 2 incidents in one game, it's not an automatic suspension?
Oh, I think it needs.
I feel like two incidents,
Something they need to
they should be
consider.
suspended.
NRL at least
Yeah.
consider it.
No, even if it's like 2 minor ones, if you've got multiple illegal incidents in the game, and I'm not saying like if you give away 2 penalties, if you go on to report twice, even that should almost be just an automatic sin bit, to be honest. Going on to report twice.
Well,
I don't know. I feel like, isn't that a thing in soccer, like the second yellow
Yeah.
card?
Well, I've said that
Get
for
a
years
red.
though. They should just. That's why they should add the 5 in the bin even.
Yeah.
That's still something they're going to toss
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, maybe. But the game overall, Zane, Panthers, they won
thought
by 8.
I thought it'd be lower scoring, but
Yeah.
still, it was 1 to 12. Penrith they were just too strong. In the
Credit
end.
to Parramatta for scoring 18 points against Panthers.
Yes.
I thought Eels were good in this game, to be honest.
They were
I
good.
thought they can hold their heads high. Like,
They would have
realistically,
beaten any other team, I reckon.
yeah, well, that's what. Realistically, not many teams are going to beat the Panthers this year, and so the Eels can't get too. Obviously, like you want to beat the Panthers, and Eels normally do in regular season. But I thought they did. I thought they played good, as you just said. They probably beat almost any other team if they played like that. I think they can hold their heads high. It's only round 2. The
Still a
Eels are
long
like.
time to
There's
go.
plenty of positives for the Eels. Plenty of positives, especially they had Simonson go off very early in the game. I think there was another injury. Their hooker ended up playing like 80 minutes. Like they had some things go against them, to be fair as well.
But
So
they were just hanging in there.
yeah, 100%. It is, like they didn't get the 2 points, and obviously that probably hurts. But in the long run, if you're missing out on the 2 points against Panthers, it's not going to hurt that much because how many teams realistically are getting 2 points against the Panthers? Probably like 3 or 4
Yeah.
max. So I'm not worried about the Eels at all. I still think they're a top 8 team, to be honest. And the Panthers.
Top
Yeah,
4
but
still.
yeah, they showed that they're still the team to beat. To be honest, I have them as the team to beat. Although they're not undefeated, there are a few undefeated teams. But yeah, let's go to the Saturday football, Super Saturday, and it was a Super Saturday.
Yeah. How good were the Raiders?
The milk,
And how rubbish were the Tigers?
yeah, no good. Talk to me about this game, Zane.
I tipped Tigers with expecting them to come out, prove a point this season. They're going to be a different side, and they
Why
just
did you tip the Tigers?
because I thought they'd come out, prove a point that they were going to be a different side this year, and they were just dreadful.
Yeah,
If that's what they're going to do all year, then I'm never tipping them again.
Yeah.
The first 10
You
minutes,
tipped the
they were
Tigers and the
atrocious.
Dragons in the same
Like it was
way.
14-0 like after 15 minutes.
Yeah,
And then Bud Sullivan gets dropped
Yeah, he got
instantly
cut
for
mid-game.
Caesar. Like it still doesn't look like they know what they're doing.
well, it's
They can't seem to come up with when players are going to come on. Like, did they deliberately have Caesar there
Well, that's
in
what
case someone didn't work?
I was literally about to say, you've read my mind. I was going to say, is it concerning that they had Caesar on the bench, almost manifesting that their halfback was going to get cut? Because Caesar's not coming on and playing hooker. I think it was a very strange decision that, like, were
I
they
think this
assuming
is
that
proof.
Sullivan was going to get benched?
Caesar should be starting, and Sullivan, I feel like he's a better 14. And he
Yeah.
is a starter. He can come on, play hooker, play 5'8", play halfback if he has to.
Well,
And
yeah.
that should be his role.
Yeah, 100%. I was thinking, I don't know if
And
I said
even
it last
keep doing
week.
the rotations that they used to do with Appy.
Yeah,
Appy used to do at Penrith.
yeah.
And
100%.
Sullivan can come on for a
Sullivan
little
can
bit.
play hooker.
He can.
He did it at the Dragons. He's not the best hooker in the game or anything, but he can
do
play
it
it for like 20 minutes.
It's just strange how all that went. Like I was like,
I to start your season, and obviously they've got Luai coming next year. So the Tigers' mission this year, realistically, is to find Luai's halves partner.
Which
to go
I think
with
will be Caesar for next year at least.
I don't know who it's going to be because they started with Sullivan and Galvin, and that's what's confused me. How do you land? You spend a whole preseason, and you come up with Sullivan as your 7 and Galvin as your 6.
Yeah, no one thought
It just doesn't make sense. You've signed Caesar, who's an experienced 7. I thought Caesar with either Galvin or Sullivan was the obvious combo, and then it's between Caesar and then whoever his partner is to partner Luai next year. Like, it just doesn't make sense. I thought Caesar was almost in there. Low key, I thought Caesar was in there to coach the other partner, Sullivan, to become Luai's partner. I thought Caesar's in there as just, he's hired for 12 months to coach Bud Sullivan to then partner Luai. But Caesar named on the bench, but then still plays 40 minutes because Sullivan gets axed halfway through.
But the Raiders on the other hand.
Axing your halfback in round 1.
I know, that's just what I mean. I'm
half time in your first game. It's round 2, but their first game.
Year again when they're switching around the halves every week. They're just going to one of those seasons again.
It's not a good sign at all for the Tigers. Even Siri's apologising.
Sorry for the Tigers.
Yeah, Siri's sorry for the Tigers.
Raiders on the other hand.
They were good.
Wooden spoon predictions. A lot of people, I don't think it's going to happen.
They could play finals the way they go. I know it's only the Tigers.
They're on top of the table at the moment.
Yeah.
But they could play finals.
Zach
it's round 2.
is a superstar.
He did.
Goodness
have a
me,
very
he's
good
breaking
game.
out.
But they've played the Knights and they've played the Tigers.
Yeah.
Let's see how they go against the.
Yeah, we definitely need to see them. Even just I don't even want to see them against a top 8 side. I want to see. I guess you could say Knights are fringes, but yeah, I want to see them against.
Who are they playing this week? I need to have a look. The Raiders.
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. It is actually in front of me.
They're playing the Warriors over there.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
Well, that's a good test for them.
Yes,
That's a good test for them because
over in Christchurch.
Yeah, because honestly, I don't expect them to win that game. So if they can come out and beat the Warriors in New Zealand, then they're the real deal. To be honest, they're like genuinely top 4 threats. I'd go as far as saying if they can beat Warriors in New Zealand and go 3 from 3, I don't see why not. Like, that's pretty good. I don't think they'll do that. That's sort of my point. I don't see that happening, but you never know. Ricky Stewart gets them up. How about the GO Stadium? It smelt on the weekend, apparently.
Did it?
That's what Ricky Stewart said. There was a bit of a stench going on. I don't know what the go is there, but any other standout players for you?
No, this was, if you saw my tier ranking video on TikTok, you would have seen that I had this at the bottom end towards the fringe of nearly fell asleep.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't like a poo slinger. Like, it was just a forgettable game.
Yeah, I
thought
thought
teams are going to forget about it in a couple of weeks.
I thought Ethan Strange had a good game.
He did, yes.
Little bit of a shout out to him. Galvin had a good debut.
He had a very good game.
Obviously, we talked a lot about Sullivan getting axed to that, but Galvin, the other half, he had a solid debut. I was impressed.
But
with
a lot
him.
of rookie players have said the Raiders are the hardest team to make your debut against, and I
Really?
don't know why, but a lot of players have just said it's the Raiders. I don't know if it's because of the massive forward pack.
Yeah,
I'd say that have to be it, but
it's cold.
Like, out of all the clubs, like Penrith and that, they reckon the Raiders is the hardest.
Who says
like,
that?
Oh, a lot of when they did surveys on the rookies last year, I read up on it.
Yeah,
they were like
true.
Raiders, and then Penrith for second.
Yeah, that's so random.
That's weird.
Surely it's like in Canberra, it's cold.
Yeah,
Surely it's like that, and it stinks apparently. Cowboys Knights. This one went to Golden Point. Our first Golden Point game of the year.
I saw the first half of this. I didn't see the Golden Point, unfortunately, but I know it was a Chad Townsend field goal.
Yeah,
and Knights were leading most of this game as well.
Yeah, Cowboys scored a couple late tries. Let me check the timestamps. I remember in one of the group chats I'm in, shout out to Ryan Flaxey, one of the greats. Go give him a follow if you can find him on TikTok and YouTube and all the good stuff. He put up his multi in a group chat and I think he just had Knights head to head and they were up by maybe 10 at that stage with 20 to go. I'm going to say just roughly. And I said to him, I'd cash that out because I think Cowboys are going to win this because although the Knights were winning for like most of the game, the Cowboys just were hanging in there and the Knights looked like the wheels were about to fall off. They scored their first 2 tries through Adam Elliott. Like, I don't think the Knights attack was clicking as much as the scoreboard reflected.
It was 10-0 at half time, wasn't it?
Yeah, 10-0 half time. Cowboys came out, scored 2 quick ones, tied it. Knights hit back with the Greg Marju try. And then Dearden scores and then Nanai scores right at the end. 4 minutes left. Nanai scores to send it to Golden Point. I think Holmes missed the goal to take the lead, but we went to Golden Point. I think I predicted that as well. I said, yeah, Holmes is going to miss this goal. I was all over it, Dan. I was all over it. Actually, you know what? that TBC app. That's where I did it. You know the TBC app with the predictions. I hadn't used it, and then as Holmes is lining up the kick, I jump on that up. First prediction ever. Holmes misses the goal kick and he missed. So I'm a genius. And then obviously Chad Townsend, the 1-point field goal in Golden Point. He also set up the nano try to tie the game as well. Chaddy Townsend had a game.
You'll be able to see that in my scores very soon.
He's a big clutch performance guy, Chad Townsend. Yes. But overall, what did you make of both teams? Let's talk about the Knights first.
I don't know. No, they've obviously, if you haven't heard, Jackson Hastings been dropped as well.
Allegedly.
We only talked about this last week as well.
Yeah.
The Knights were going to change this, but they already have.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Zane, but did we not both say that if we were going to make a change, one, we wouldn't make the change yet, but two, it would be Hastings and Cogger playing. Yes. Like we'd drop Gamble, right? We both said that.
Yes.
And they've dropped a Hastings.
And I really rate Hastings as well. So I don't understand why they've done this, but...
It makes no sense to me.
O'Brien's mind.
I don't, even just watching... It's not like Hastings has been bad. Hastings has been good, I thought.
I don't know if they're just trying to change things up.
Are they trying to send a message? Is there something happening behind the scenes culture-wise?
They don't look like the side they were last year, though, at the back end.
At all.
Their attack isn't flowing very well.
And I had concerns about them heading into this season. On paper, I just don't think they were as good or are as good as what they performed last year.
I don't think on paper they're top-tier side.
Yeah. I think they overachieved last year massively.
I think they just got momentum towards the back of the year.
Yeah.
After that 66-0 win, they gave them confidence and
100%.
momentum, and they just kept rolling through.
100%. The Bulldogs played them into finals form. But,
they took the Rabbitohs position off them.
I said it last week, and I'm not going to repeat myself entirely, and this is no disrespect against Jack Cogger. Love Jack Cogger. Great bloke. But I just don't get the hype. I still don't.
Yeah, he was at Penrith.
He's not at
Penrith anymore. How's he going to go at a club?
As I said,
haven't seen much success in the last 20 years.
He came from the Knights originally.
I know.
They let him go.
Bulldogs at one point.
He went to the Bulldogs and couldn't get a start at the Bulldogs. And I know he was good at Penrith.
The Knights have not been successful for the last 20 years.
Yeah. I don't.
Failure of a club at the moment. You're gonna.
I just don't know how you go Cogger over Hastings. No disrespect to Jack Cogger. He is a good player. He killed it in the grand final.
Who are the Knights playing this week? I need to keep this.
They play the Storm.
They play the Storm. Where is it this at?
And once again, to reiterate what we said about Lockie.
They play the Storm at home.
Yeah.
Okay.
To reiterate what we said about Lockie Ilias, it's been 2 weeks.
Yes.
If you're dropping your halfback before the Bulldogs are dropping Drew Hutchison, you're dropping your halfback too early. I just don't understand how after 2 weeks, the answer to their problems, after they losing Golden Point. It's not like they got flogged. They lost to Golden Point against the Cowboys in North Queensland. That's a win in a lot of teams' books to lose. Cowboys are hard to beat in North Queensland. They competed. They were winning until the 76th minute, Zane. And the answer is drop Jackson Hastings, isn't he? Oh, he's not captain, but he's a leader in the club. He's one of the most experienced players. He's the half. He's the guy. I just don't understand where that answer's come from.
I can't answer it.
And this, Adam O'Brien was under the pump before they went on that run last year. There were talks of him getting sacked.
And then he got extended.
Because they went on a crazy run. I think he got extended, then they went on a crazy run. But it's...
No, he got extended after the run.
Well, yeah, there you go. But it's just moments like this where I'm like, what is going on? I just don't understand. And maybe they'll come out this weekend, beat the Storm and prove me wrong. Jack Cogger, maybe he'll come out and absolutely kill it, and I hope he does. I've got nothing against Jack Cogger, but I just think he's overrated at the moment. I think his grand final performance and his form off the bench at the Panthers that form isn't being overhyped. But as a player at the Knights, I just don't see how he can play as good as he did off the bench for the Panthers. It's a completely different team around him. I don't know. Maybe it's me as a Bulldogs fan, and I'm just haunted by the fact he couldn't even get a start in the 2021 Bulldogs or the 2020 Bulldogs when we got the spoon. But yeah, I just don't think the answer is, hey, let's replace Jackson Hastings with Jack Cogger.
Just wait and see how
he's got they've got similar first names. That's something, but yeah, I don't think that's the answer. But what about the Cowboys? And obviously, they're 2 from 2 now.
Top 4 this year.
Yeah,
they are.
Yeah, sticking with it.
Caught it early.
I think they're missing the 8.
I think they will make the 8.
I'll stand by it because it's been 2 weeks, but they look pretty good. They look like a finals footy team, especially just to be able to hang. I always admire teams where I love a comeback. Absolutely love a comeback when teams can just hang in a game when it's all going against them, and then pull it out a rabbit out of the hat at the end of the game, and even if they don't clutch the win, but to clutch the win as well. Like, I admire that so much. Just 80-minute performances. That's what wins.
They hung in there.
Premierships.
They hung in there the whole time.
Yeah, they didn't go missing. And
this week, the Cowboys play. Jeez, I need to look at this draw a bit
you
more.
need to memorise it, Zane.
I do.
Oh, they play
the
Dragons. Yeah.
Okay.
So they could be 3 from 3.
They could.
And I just think the defense was quite good. Obviously, as I said, like Adam Elliott scored 2 half fluky tries in the first half. Just like real soft ones. I don't think the scoreboard reflected the game, and the Cowboys went on to win it as I predicted with 20 minutes to go when I told Ryan Flaxey, if he's watching, cash that bet out, bro. I hope you cashed it out because otherwise he lost a lot of money. Gamble responsibly. Don't put your house on the Knights. That's my advice, Zane. Let's go to the final Saturday game.
Game it around.
Let's get to the elephant of the room. Greatest try of all time.
Probably.
Xavier Floats.
Have to be.
Has to be.
David Mead, David Williams. I think their crown's gone now.
Yeah. What would you have as the greatest try of all time before that one?
I'd have David Mead.
Outside of Kyle Feld in 2015.
David Mead at Shark Park.
Yeah.
Where he caught the ball with his foot. Yes.
Yeah.
And there's David Williams in the 2013 prelim.
Yeah.
Where he's literally like out on the floor.
Yeah.
And gets the ball down.
Do you remember that Warriors try where Nathan went like backwards and then threw it between his legs and they score in the corner?
Another one I think's underrated is in that game, Broncos Rabbitohs 2014. Not the Inglis running the full field, not that one. The second time they made in the year, where Inglis puts a chip up and catches it and bumps off Ben Barber, gives it the Burgess and he offloads it back to Inglis. I think that's one of the most
not acrobatic though.
Yeah, I know, but I think that's one of the most underrated tries.
That
was the second time that season where Greg Inglis just owned Ben Barber.
Yeah,
he
dominated
earlier
Ben Barber.
In the year where he took Barber's chip and in that
Ben
game
Barber. Some of my other favourite acrobatic ones.
He played the Broncos.
Brett Morris against for the Dragons. It might have been against the Sharks maybe, where he literally flew through the air. That's the only other. Do you remember that one?
Yeah, there's another one that I'm thinking.
That's the only other time I remember a player flying, and then a couple that are close to my heart.
Obviously Ross as well.
Yeah, Nathan Ross did it. Nathan Ross, was that his name?
Yeah.
Ben Ross? Nathan
Ross. Ben Ross was.
What if I happened to Nathan Ross? Remember Achille Uarte?
Yeah.
I don't have a try associated to him, but he was a freaky player. He was good. But the two that I hold close to my heart, both Ben Barber 2011 against the Eels, he scored.
And one of my favourite tries of all time. I don't think it's.
I was talking.
Oh yes, sorry.
no, you're good. So Ben Barber scored against the Eels. He did. Well, it's pretty standard now, but at the time it was crazy. Yeah. No, so that I'm going to get to that one. The one against the Eels was in the corner. And he had like his whole body hanging over the sideline and scored right on the corner post. But that's like pretty normal now, to be fair. Wingers do that every game. But yeah, the front flip one against the Knights, where the ball like bounced over the dead ball line and he dives, reaches out and then brings it back in and puts it down. That was like, I don't know how that hasn't been brought up more this weekend in terms of acrobatic tries. That was insane. Like lands on his face as well. Yeah. But yeah, what were you going to say?
Well, it was also one of my favourite tries, the perfect game in the rain where it got stopped in the puddle.
Yeah.
Reece Wesser.
Yeah. Was that like off a Chris Sando kick?
Still one of my favourite tries.
Yeah, absolutely insane.
But it's not really like an acrobatic one. Like that was just luck.
Yeah.
Really, pure luck.
or skill from Chris Sando. That's a really, I always like to watch that one on YouTube. That one is a good moment. Wet weather footy. There's nothing
and
like
it's obviously the Reynolds against the Roosters. That's probably one of the most iconic tries.
Yeah, 100%. That would have to.
And
that's easily one of the most iconic.
In the grand final.
Felt's in the grand final. It has to be the best. Like, because for me, best try also takes into account like the situation. That's why this Xavier Coates one is so incredible, because it was a match winner. But yeah, that Felt one, and then the Queen one for Queensland in Origin is obviously another clutch match winner.
I keep yawning.
But
I don't know why.
To combine that, like.
The game, though.
Well, Xavier Coates, just on the try quickly, like, you could argue it's the best acrobatic try of all time.
Probably.
You can make that argument. And then to combine it, it was also a match winner. Like, it's just so good. It actually, there's like a Reddit, a subreddit called like just sports or something. And it was like the #1 trending post that day. And usually it's all just American sports, and all the Americans were freaking out about it. Good stuff. It promoted the game more in America than the Vegas weekend did. But so shout out to Xavier Floats. But yeah, the game overall was just
Storm started off really on top. I'm like, Storm are going to dominate here.
Yeah.
The Warriors showed resilience like they did last year and just fought back. And in the end, probably very unlucky not to win it.
Were they by 10 with like 5 minutes left?
It was 26 to 8, yeah.
And then Pap scores his second try. He had a great game.
Warriors just so unlucky to not win that game.
Oh, they deserved the win.
They deserved it.
They
are 0-2 But
Yeah.
there's good signs about them.
Oh, 100%. They don't deserve to be 0-2.
I still feel like they can definitely be a top 8 side this year.
I don't. The way they're playing, they'll play finals footy. They're easily, out of all the 0-2 teams, they're the best. Like, they're playing so good. They've been to lose to what Xavier Coates did is nothing but unlucky. Like, that was just a freakish try at the death. You can't defend that. Dallin Watene-Zelezniak did everything he had to do. It wasn't even bad defense. It was just freakish from Xavier Coates, who jumped over him, flew over him. But yeah, the Warriors, they look good to me. I'm not worried about them at all. They look good. And Raiders in New Zealand, I honestly think that they could really come out and make a statement, to be honest.
They need to.
The Storms, I said that they're a smoky to win the comp this year. They're now 2-0. Ryan Pappenhausen in form.
I've got bits where I do worry about them, though.
Where
I saw it with this Warriors game. When a team gets on top of them, they seem to kind of fall back a little bit.
So I disagree. The Warriors got back on top of them and they still clawed back.
I noticed it with the Storm last year. If a team gets on top of them now, they kind of go a bit quiet and the attacking players don't provide that spark.
See, I disagree. They did fire.
We haven't seen much of it because it's been 2 games. With Pappenhausen back, that could be different, but that was my problem with him last year.
Well, that's Pappenhausen was the difference.
Pappenhausen will probably change that.
He was the difference on the weekend.
I just noticed last year, whenever a team got on top of them, got under their skin, got momentum over them, they couldn't recover from it. They didn't have any spark, but Pappenhausen could change that.
Pappenhausen has changed it.
And because
on the weekend I feel
like that did happen for quite a bit, but then the Pappenhausen try came and Melbourne just got back on top.
I hope he can stay healthy. And obviously, it's so cliche now talking about Pappenhausen injuries, but he's so good. He's probably my favourite player to watch outside of the Bulldogs. Yeah. He's like, not even just to watch, he's my favourite player outside of the Bulldogs. I love Pappenhausen. Love him. He was also a Bulldogs fan growing up.
Origin Smokey, you reckon?
I don't know. There's just too many fullbacks. And because he's not as versatile, like New South Wales are probably going to have 5 fullbacks in their side, realistically. I just don't know if Pappenhausen leans there. I'd love to see him play Origin, though. He deserves to.
Oh, God,
100% he deserves to, but
I just
don't know if he'd get picked. Origin. Yeah, he's just always bad timing with his injuries. But I just love him. He's such a good guy as well. Good bloke off the field. Yeah. In round 1, back to Ryan Flaxey, he did an interview with him after the game. Great bloke, Pappenhausen. Shout out to him. Manly Roosters at Brookvale on Sunday afternoon. Zane, did you see much of this one?
I did. Watch the whole thing.
Yeah, what'd you make? Because I didn't see much of this game, so you're going to have to talk
game,
about
but
it.
The better team ended up winning in the end.
Yeah?
That's how I take this game. It was very grindy, very gritty. I think Manly had a bit more attacking spark than what the Roosters did, and I think that is what got them the win.
Any standout players from either team?
Luke Brooks.
Yeah.
Had another great game. He was outstanding, actually. Not a great game. He was outstanding.
Yeah, wow.
Even Tom Trbojevic. Yeah, he wasn't on fire, but he did his job.
Olakau'atu
had a great game.
Yeah.
But when we go to the Roosters, Tedesco, not as energetic as what he was in Vegas. Kind of costed a couple of tries, but what it is.
From what I saw, I thought Tedesco had a good game.
First game for the club, probably not his best. Especially in attack, he was pretty good, but his defence needs to have a bit of work done.
Well, that's always been an issue for Dom Young.
Yeah, he didn't have a very good defensive game.
He got dropped from the Knights halfway through last season. I think people forget about that as well.
Yeah, he did, actually. I keep forgetting that.
I feel like, I know I'm coming out here and bagging a lot of players today, but I feel like Dom Young a little bit overrated.
Oh, yeah.
He's fast. He can score a try, but... Yeah, he's not the best winger in the comp.
And Roosters missed a lot of their goal conversions as well, which ended up costing them. It would have been a lot tighter in the end, but I feel like the better team did win. That's what happened here.
Sunday Arvo at Brookvale.
And Manly, they look very good. They do look very good this year. Like, I feel like if they play like they've been, they'll play finals.
Yeah, they're looking very good.
My concern with them is injuries. I feel like if they can get 1 or 2 injuries, they'll fall apart. Yeah, and we've seen it in the past. They haven't had any yet. Well, we've got Saab, but he's a winger. They've only had the key players get injured. Yeah, that's my worry for him.
There's a certain key player that tends to get injured.
Well, yeah, him and Brooks and Cherry Evans. If one of them get injured, that's going to stuff them.
Yeah,
we're going to have to wait and see.
Yeah, it's a long season. It's been 2 weeks, but they look
very good. Whereas the Roosters, they were. I'm not going to say they were bad because they weren't bad, but they were just kind of
bit rusty.
Yeah, they just seemed rusty. There were moments in the game where they just didn't look like they were communicating with each other, and they were, turn around after a break was made and look at other players and they have to fix it this week. It's a big game coming up.
Huge game.
But I know they will show up. These 2 teams always show up for these games in Rabbitohs Roosters, but if they play like they did last week and South show up, like I know they will lose. They will lose.
And then
But they're going to lose anyway, even if they show up. So
the last game of the week, Dolphins, Dragons. Obviously, Dolphins won 38-0.
I thought it was going to be 50 at one point.
Yeah, so did I.
Last week, so impressed with the Dragons. New era for the club. Shane Flanagan turned them around. Dolphins, very concerning. Think like, might get the wooden spoon. This week, it was just the complete opposite.
Yeah,
Dolphins were outstanding. Dragons were just terrible.
Yeah.
Like, terrible.
There's honestly not that much to talk about in this game purely because it was just so one-sided. Obviously, Hammer Fido, sorry, Hammer, had an outstanding game. I thought Osaka was good. It was such a one-sided game.
At all?
No, not. I honestly, I thought Dolphins could win, but not 38-0. Definitely not 38-0.
It could have been 50. They missed that goal
Yeah.
at the end as well. It could have been 40-0. Like,
Yeah.
honestly, like, Dragons were atrocious.
Let me say this.
I don't know why.
It's insane how much of a difference Jake Averillo makes to a footy side. That's what I put this one down to.
He was brilliant.
He's worth, 58 points? Because they went from losing by 20 or 30 or something to, I think they lost by 25, and then they've turned around and won by 38. That's all Jake Averillo. You can't convince me otherwise. That was
And Hammer,
purely
who had
all
a
Jake
shocker
Averillo.
last week, had a very good game.
Hammer was
That's just the
insane.
Wayne Bennett sprinkling his magic.
Oh, can I spin a yarn? May I spin a yarn? This is via, I think I heard it on Rugby League Guru, who heard it from somebody from the Dolphins. So this is passed down through the generations. But apparently what happened was Wayne Bennett was so disgusted with the round one performance that he wanted to swing the axe to send a message, and he wanted to drop Hammer from the side.
Really?
And he was like, he walked in on Tuesday and he's like, I'm dropping Hammer. But then the rest of the coaching staff sort of convinced him not to. They ended up dropping O'Sullivan,
Tessie New,
and then Kenny Bromwich, I think it was. One of the Bromwich brothers. I think it was Kenny, got dropped on game day. But even apparently like 24 hours before the game, Wayne Bennett was still like, I want to drop Hammer. Even 1 hour before kickoff, he was still thinking about dropping Hammer, but just kept getting convinced not to.
Not happening anymore,
and on the Tuesday, when the first day he was like not going to name Hammer, they convinced him not to. At training, the first drop ball that Hammer dropped, he got sent home.
Really?
Wayne Bennett told Hammer, pack your bags, go home, and he went home just like in shock. And came out on the weekend.
Do you reckon that's Wayne Bennett just making sure he plays a good game?
Yeah, 100%. That is Wayne Bennett masterclass coaching. Because look at how Hammer played on the weekend.
It was outstanding.
Yeah, and that just the point of the story. I guess the moral of the story is Wayne Bennett is the greatest coach of all time. That is coaching.
He literally sent him home.
Dead set. That is a true story. That's not even like a rumor. That is a true story. He dropped one ball and got sent home. Instead of he was going to get dropped from the side, and Wayne Bennett. They wouldn't let him drop him, so that was Wayne Bennett's solution. I'll send him home. Literally packed his bag and just because I guess Wayne Bennett would have a lot of respect, so Hammer didn't sit there and argue. He just in shock just packed his bags and went home, and then came out.
I just can't imagine Bennett like in that mood.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I'd love to see mic'd up Wayne Bennett at training or something.
But that's just elite coaching.
He'd never do it, but I reckon it'd be hilarious just to see him mic'd up.
Because
if you remember 2020 Origin.
Yeah.
Carl Stefanovic wanted to put behind the scenes in the Origin camps, and they couldn't do it because Bennett didn't want the cameras in there.
That would
it's kind of a shame because that would have been a sick series. But
if that's what Wayne Bennett did after a round one loss to club footy, what did he do in the 2020 Origin series?
Yeah, but
to get the best out of all those players.
Please, I beg you to try and get Wayne Bennett mic'd up. Not even just train, just in the coach's box.
Yeah.
Not even tell him, just hide a mic in there and just...
He might fall asleep.
Yeah,
when Bennett falls asleep, just sneak a mic.
That is the one I've wanted for my whole life, just Wayne Bennett mic'd up.
And to his credit, I feel like Bennett's a little bit more open these days than he used to be. I feel like now that he's getting on a bit, he sort of is going, I need to pass on the wisdom.
Whether it's at training, whether it's in the coach's box, whether it's in the dressing rooms after or before a game, I just want to see a video with Wayne Bennett mic'd up.
I'd pay money to just follow him around for like a day. It'd be so interesting. Hey, shout out to Wayne. That's
because we only ever
seen
that press conferences where it's just one word responses. I'd love to see more of him behind the scenes of what he's actually like, because I know he's actually a pretty fun guy according to all the players. He's not like what he is on the cameras.
Yeah, 100% shout. He's got to be one. I think he's the best coach of all.
Oh God, yeah.
Especially it's just stories like that that you hear.
Legendary Rabbitohs.
He's got such a unique way of coaching, but he knows how to get a message across. He knows how to communicate with players and get the best out of players. And Hammer is the perfect example on the weekend from getting sent home from training, nearly getting dropped, comes out, scores a hat trick. and was sensational. But anything else out of that game, or
I was just shocked. I was like, you're kidding. Like, how
Yeah.
did the Dragons go from such a positive week, positive
Yeah.
build-up, and now it's just all down the bottom again?
is there concern? Like,
Yeah,
there has to be concern, but like how much concern
They're just going
is
to be
there?
inconsistent.
Yeah.
Like, they're going to have a good game and a bad game. Like, they play the Cowboys this week, who look pretty good at the moment.
Yeah.
And it's their first home game of the year, so you never know. Dragons always seem to play good at home.
Yeah.
Like, they always put up a fight, but we'll have to just wait and see.
Everyone's favourite new segment of the year.
Questions.
No.
Oh, yes, sorry.
Well, come on.
Point,
Well, look,
sorry.
the question,
questions are next.
To be fair, questions probably the actual favourite.
Yes.
I feel like the questions, they've popped off this week. There's a few. But yeah, we're going to do our player of the week voting. You can go first. Obviously, channel your inner Peter Volandis and read off
Alright.
your list.
1 point. Try of the year. Xavier Coates. Like, he's only getting 1 point because he didn't do much else in that game. 2 points. First golden point field goal of the year. Chad Townsend.
Yeah,
I
nice.
think that's fair enough. 3 points. The Hammer. Probably been a bit harsh there. I think he probably deserves more, but we've got 2 more players ahead of him. 4 points, Luke Brooks. 5 points, Zach Hosking. Do you like it?
I like it.
Yeah.
I feel like, obviously, I gave Hosking
points.
5 points last
Yeah,
week, and you,
wow.
didn't, and you left him off your
I probably
list.
should have given Hammer the 5 to tell the truth, but it's done now.
All right, let me go through mine. If you're watching on YouTube, you might have heard me giggling through the
I feel like
early
I should have
ones.
given Hammer the 5, but whatever, it's still like now.
1 point, Xavier Coates.
Fair, yeah.
Purely because he scored the greatest
yeah,
try
but
of
apart
all
from
time.
that, there was
No other
much else,
reason.
yeah.
Honestly, there's a lot of players that probably deserve to be in here over him, but he just gets a point for
And I've
scoring a
noticed
sick
in
try.
both our lists, there's no Dalian leader in it. Nico Hines.
Yeah,
I haven't got a single point
Shocking.
for either of us.
6
this year.
points in his game, but no points from
Yeah,
us.
12 points in total.
Yeah. 2 points, Chad Townsend.
I think same reasons as me.
He kicked not only with the field. I just thought he had a really good game. Really steered the Cowboys to victory. 3 points, and I'm surprised he didn't make your list. Tungo from Panthers.
He was close.
He was a very good player on the weekend. I've gone 4 points. Another one that I'm surprised didn't make your list. Reece Walsh.
He was also he was the 6th player in the line.
He was very good against the Bunnies.
You've got no Hoskin,
And
I said. Wow.
no Hosking, which is so funny because last week I sprayed you for leaving out Hoskins, and on it, Hosking was my 6th man, and Coates obviously got the point over him for scoring a try. Honestly, there was a lot of really good performances this week. A lot. There were so many players I left off that deserve points, but my 5 points, it goes to Hammer. Sensational game against the Dragons. Scored the hat trick. He gets my 5 points. Our player of the week goes to the Hammer as well. I'm pretty sure I've done the math in my head, but he's come away with 8 points, and then all the points are pretty spread. Yeah,
We'll make a post of it.
yeah. You'll see follow the Instagram _. We post it up there. But yeah, judging off what I'm reading here, and as Hoskins deserved points, Brooks deserved points. I thought Teague Wilton from the Sharks deserved points, but the way we do it, only 5 players can get them. And shout out to Xavier Coates for getting 2 points total purely because he scored a sick try. That's how good our Orange Pillar system is. Obviously, make sure you jump in the comments. Leave your 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The most liked comment on YouTube gets included in the overall voting at the end of the year. So make sure you get in there and give a comment. Actually, you know what? I'm going to give a quick shout out to there was a comment. There was only one person commented last week. So cheers for the support, guys. Goodness me. But hang on, give me 1 second. I want to read out the name because I appreciate the support. Shout out to AWXLLY. I can't pronounce that. But this is for round 1, not on the weekend, but their round 1 was Sloan, 5 points, Manu, 4 points, Brooks, Cartwright, and Zach Labart. So those players are getting included in the overall count towards the end of the year. And yeah, as I said, just make sure you jump in the comments on YouTube, leave your 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You get a shout out, you get your opinion included in the overall end of the year, player of the year thingamabob. But let's get into some Instagram questions. Everyone's favourite segment, Zane. The first question, and it's from Emilio the Savage, one of the greats. What is the issue at the Bulldogs?
I think it's a lack of halves and a lack of direction and inexperienced.
Yeah.
Too many inexperienced players.
Yeah.
Too many depth players.
I've got no props. I feel like they need some forwards. No halfback, as you said. And then just, as I mentioned earlier in our game review, the fatigue. Hurting him. But yeah, they need some props. A better
forwards
halfback.
are the issues as well.
Yeah. It's as like you said about it, it's so hard to play without a forward pack, and Matt Burton's been a victim of it for years now, and just we've been through that many halfbacks: Avarillo, Flanagan, Biondioto, Hutchison now, probably a couple of
Reece
others as
Martin.
well. Reece Martin, he was never halfback.
Oh, yes, he was, wasn't he?
No, he was a back rower. That's Reece Martin.
Sure,
He's from years ago as well.
He
No,
was
he-
like 2017, wasn't he?
2017, 2018.
Oh, I thought he was a halfback.
No, he was a back rower.
Oh, he was a goal kicker.
He could
Maybe that's
goal
what I'm
kick.
thinking,
He
yeah.
could kick
Yeah,
a goal.
Maybe that's what I was thinking.
You talk about like BKR always says how Tanner Boyd never misses when he actually does in fact miss a lot. Reece Martin never missed. He was such a good goal kicker. That's a throwback. What is a key matchup you're excited for this week?
What?
I wonder which one
Roosters
you're excited
Rabbitohs,
for.
Yes.
Yeah?
Roosters rep. In second place is Panthers Broncos
Yeah.
grand final. Some good games this week.
Yeah. I've got down Eels Manly.
That,
I thought
yeah,
that's
that,
a cracker.
there's a lot of crackers
Because
this
both
week.
Eels Manly looking
Even
like
Raiders
really good
Warriors
teams.
is one I'm
Yeah,
excited to see.
100%. This week is a really good week of footy. Obviously, like Bulldogs, Titans, not two really good teams, but like evenly placed teams. I feel like most of the games are like teams similar on the ladder. Obviously, Tigers, Sharks, Dragons, Cowboys, not as much, but pretty much every other game. I guess Knights, Storm a little bit. The next question: if the Dragons and Bulldogs merged, would they win the comp? I think they would.
I don't know.
I
You
think
reckon
they
what
would.
the sides?
Well, you look at the Bulldogs'
That's
weaknesses.
a hard
You
question.
add Ben Hunt into the Bulldog side as a halfback, and then a couple of the Dragons props. I think they win the
I still
comp.
think there'd be better sides than them.
I
I reckon they'd play finals. Yeah.
yeah.
But
I think
don't know.
I think they're capable of winning the comp. Like Ben Hunt to the Bulldogs would be so good. Plus, you get a couple of forwards like Blake Laurie, Gunn, and then the only issue really would be fullback.
Yeah, I guess.
Plenty of depth, but yeah, I think they would. Next question: 2016 Maloney or 2022 Hines?
Ooh.
Tricky one, eh?
Maloney did win the comp.
Yeah,
But Hines
he
did win the Dally
Yeah,
M.
he did.
I'm going to say Maloney.
Yeah.
Because I feel like Maloney's proven himself a lot more than Hines has in
Yeah.
big games.
Obviously, there's
The Sharks obviously didn't prove himself in big games that season.
yeah. There's
Maloney-
obviously
I just look back at that season. I remember Maloney just directed that side. He controlled it so well.
yeah, he was very obviously played Origin as well. I don't know. Surely
And
he
the other
played
thing,
it that
I know
year,
this is a
but-
controversial take, but I reckon 2016 Ben Barber was better than 2012 Ben Barber.
Oh,
which
that's
is a big call.
That's a big call.
I just remember he came back from the Broncos. He went to the Broncos. Everyone thought he was done.
Yeah.
And he comes back to the Sharks and he killed it.
No, he was good
And
at the
it was
Sharks. To be
Maloney
fair.
and Barber were the two main people behind that season.
Yeah.
And Michael Ennis was there as well. But
Speaking of Ben Barber, actually,
I'm going Maloney with that question.
I'm tying Ben Barber into my answer. Ben Barber, when asked who, obviously there's the debate about Turbo, Hayne, Barber, who had the better season.
I reckon 2016 Barber was better than 2012 Barber.
Well,
but that's a strong
Ben
take.
Barber always says how realistically you can compare them all you want, but at the end of the day, they all failed because none of them won a premiership.
Well,
And
yeah.
so that sort of ties into my answer here. Hines arguably the better player, but Maloney won the premiership, and that's what it's about.
Yes, and
So I love
Maloney proved himself in the big games.
Yeah.
Whereas Hines didn't that season.
Yeah. This is my favorite.
No, I also
quote.
think overall that Shark side was better than the current one.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
This is my favourite question that we've had all year. If Zane played 80 minutes at fullback for the South this
God.
weekend,
Oh, Jesus.
how many Supercoach points would he score?
I'd say maybe the negatives.
Respectfully, Zane,
Probably the negatives.
I think you'd be in the negatives. Can I tell you why?
Right, I'll be nice to myself. Arrogant. I'll say 2 points.
2 points.
I'll get a nice offload.
The way,
away, that'll be-
the way Supercoach scoring works, obviously, you get points for tackle breaks, scoring tries, line breaks,
Which I won't be
try
getting points
assists,
for that, obviously.
runs.
No tackle breaks, definitely not.
My concern for you, Zane, is that you're not an NRL player.
No.
The Sydney Roosters are an NRL side. Their
And the
game
Rabbitohs
plan.
are an NRL side who are a lot
Yeah.
fast paced
Well,
than
my
me.
concern is you wouldn't be able to keep up.
Yeah.
But my concern is the Roosters would just come out with a game plan, kick the ball to Zane,
Yes.
and then smash Zane so he drops to the wall.
Exactly.
And I feel like
and I'd
every
probably
single
drop it every single time.
And yeah, no, like I think you could catch some of the bombs, but then they'd just tackle you
I've got
side and
speed.
drop
If I can
it.
get past them, then I can get past them. But I wouldn't.
Well, I don't know if you're getting
I'd
past
get-
any of the
I wouldn't
Roosters
get past them, but if I
players.
did somehow, I'd probably. Actually, no, I wouldn't be able to.
Like I just feel
I'll
like
say 2 points.
I feel like the Roosters players.
I just won't get involved as much, so I'm not in the negative.
I think they'd force you to be involved. I think the Roosters' game plan would be
I've got-
kick the ball to Zane and then smash
I've
him
got
so
the
he drops
experience of
it.
AJ next to me.
And
He
so-
can take over.
So you just catch it and pass it.
If I'll just let bounce and let AJ do it. Honestly,
I
that's-
think you'd end up in the negatives.
Yeah, probably.
Couple of errors.
Probably.
Couple of errors, I think. That's respect. And to be fair, if it was me, I would also end up in the negatives. It's
Oh,
not just
yeah.
you. Like, I think they'd just kick you the ball, and if you caught it, they'd then tackle you so hard you'd drop it.
Yes.
Same for me.
Oh, I probably wouldn't
Same
even
for
last
me.
the game.
Yeah. Yeah, both of us would probably get injured before very early. Are the Bulldogs still going to win the comp? Obviously, yes, they are. It's
No, they're
2024.
not. No, they're not.
The pattern doesn't lie.
It's not happening.
Two
I'm
losses
sorry.
in the first 2 weeks doesn't concern me. The pattern is still a thing. So obviously they still are. It's a 27-week season. If they have to go 22-2 and limp into the finals, so be it. This is a good question. Will Brooks get Dally M 5/8 of the year?
I think he can get 5/8 for the year.
Yeah.
I don't know about the Dally.
But yeah,
I don't
this
think
is
he
just
can go that
5/8
far.
of
I
the
think he
year.
can, yeah.
I think absolutely he
If
can.
he continues the form he's in at the moment, he definitely.
Will he? He'll come close, I think.
I think there's a world where
He's
he
up
can.
there. He's currently number 1 out of 5/8.
Yeah,
So
like he
he's
can
leaderboard,
definitely
so,
win
yeah.
it. I feel like there's a world where he could be smoky for the blue side.
Nah,
If he can-
that's too far. Sure.
Madge did coach him. Remember that. If
Yeah,
he continues
but-
his form, he'd be in the discussion.
I can understand if
I still think
his
Moses,
halfback was New
Moses,
South Wales.
Luai, and Walker would still be ahead of him.
Can I tell you who I'd pick? This is early Origin chat, and it's not even a question. But my New South Wales halves would be Moses Cleary.
I'd consider that as well.
Yeah.
I would. But I feel like if Brooks can continue the form he's in, he'd be in the discussion.
Oh, I don't think
think he'd
so.
get picked, but he'd be in the discussion within
That's
the
a hot
media.
take.
Within the media.
Yeah, fair
at
enough.
least, but yeah, it's still a while.
Yeah. Can't wait for Origin. Will the Bunnies win this week?
Yes.
I've got no.
Okay, that was just a one.
But obviously,
yes,
yeah,
they
we'll
will.
get to our predictions soon anyway. Actually, you know what? We should give somebody a phone call when we do our predictions.
Yeah, it's actually a
should
good idea.
Call somebody up again 2 weeks in a row. And then the final question, why do the Tigers still suck? They actually used a bit more language in the question. I'll censor it a bit.
I think they just don't know what they're doing at
Yeah.
this point. They're unorganised, and the halves are an issue.
Yeah. Well,
Based of the weekend, I'm just blaming the
yeah.
halves.
Well, obviously, it's only been one game, so it's hard to judge off one game. But I've got the halves are probably an issue. And yeah, they just don't seem to know, they just seem a bit lost. It's weird.
Yeah, it's
The
just
whole
it's weird.
preseason,
I don't
they
know.
seem a bit lost.
That was a
But
strange.
it's also, to be fair, you can't expect a team to just suddenly be amazing after getting back-to-back wooden spoons. Like Benji, it's his first year coaching. He needs time to build the roster he wants. They've got Luai coming. There are positive signs. The board's just been completely, replaced in that. But it's been one game. So give them time. But yeah, the halves are probably the biggest concern for me. Kid of the week, Zane, brought to you by the Vintage Thread, #1 sports graphic tees in Australia. Shout out to Haynes. We had him on here last week. Gave him a phone call. He's got the Jared Weir Hargraves 300th shirt going. I'm in my Burden shirt this week. Jump on there. Hot Dog 10. You get 10% off your order. What was your kid of the week?
Mine was the Penrith Panthers.
Yeah?
Home jersey.
There you go.
I think it's. I really like the My Place sponsor. At first
Yeah.
glance, I was like, I really like it. I think it's 2 weeks in a row where I've picked Penrith.
Yeah, you had the pink jersey last week. This week, I've gone the Dolphins black
Ooh,
jersey. And I can't
really?
believe you didn't.
I don't like it.
Really?
No, I just.
I reckon it's almost the best
Again,
jersey in the comp.
issue is
The
I
stitching.
don't
That's fair.
like the stitching.
Yeah,
Why is
no,
it
that's
red?
valid.
They should have just made it black. It would have been a lot better
Yeah.
because I think it's better than the away. But I'm still not
No,
a
that
fan
is
of it.
true. The stitching is an issue,
I
but
don't understand why is it red for. Like, why
know.
couldn't they just do it black?
same
Like,
with
it's
the
not hard.
Eels away jersey.
Yeah.
Why do they do yellow stitching on the white?
Ah.
It hurts. It hurts. But yeah, I love black jerseys. Just absolutely froth them. Bulldogs jerseys, especially when they're black, I love them. But yeah, the Dolphins black jersey, I think it's sick. A lot of people say, Diet Coke. No, not Diet Coke. Sorry, Coke Zero.
Yeah, Coke Zero.
Coke
vanilla
no sugar. But no, I like it. I love the black jersey. And Jake Averillo in that jersey is so hot as well. I love Jake Averillo, if you didn't know. But that brings us to the final segment, the round 2 preview. Thursday night footy, Zane. Panthers Broncos grand final rematch
It is.
at Penrith. Where are you going?
I'm going to low scoring, very low scoring. Penrith won the 12 win.
Yeah?
I could see a 1 point win as well.
Field goal season. They were field goal round 1 last year.
I'm actually going to go down the middle with Isaiah Yeo to score a try.
Ooh. That's hot. That's smoky.
Because I feel like the Broncos are defending very well on the edges recently.
Yeah, fair.
See, I scored both their tries through the middle last week.
There you go. That's a
That's why I'm backing
stats-based
that.
prediction. I like it. I'm also on Panthers 1-12. I also can see it being a field goal, to be honest. I think we saw the grand final.
I
They
reckon it's
won
gonna be-
by
I
2.
literally reckon it'll be like an 8 points to 9 game.
Yeah.
So low scoring.
Yeah, I can see that as
Every
well.
time I've
Like
said
1
that,
or
it's
2
been,
tries each.
Like, I can also see a world where it ends up just
Well,
I think the expectation is like
their
32
second-
to 22.
Their
like,
second
some-
game last year was pretty low scoring and tight as well. So
But I feel like, you watch now, it'll end up being like 32 to 22 with some real high scoring
Yeah.
try fest. But
Panthers' defense has been. I guess they only leaked 8 points against Melbourne, but Eels scored a few points more than Panthers normally leak. I'm going 1 to 12, but I've got May as my try scorer
works.
on that
That's
left edge. The Wars and the Raiders over in New Zealand. I think you said it's in Christchurch.
Yes.
So
I
obviously
will be missing this game. I'll be heading up to Trelliant Stadium in Moore Park.
disgraceful, mate. Absolutely
I'm
disgraceful.
going Warriors here.
Margin
13 plus.
and try scorer.
Roger. He hasn't scored
RTA,
yet.
he
Scored
hasn't.
yet, I don't think.
No, he
Come on,
hasn't.
surely this is the week.
I'm going Warriors 13 plus. I just think they look so much better than the Raiders at the moment. They're due for a win. I think at Christchurch, it could really explode over there. Obviously, there's always streakers and stuff at that stadium as well. But yeah, I think the crowd's going to be crazy. The Warriors, they've looked good the first 2 weeks. I think they're just going to absolutely explode. I'm going Luke Metcalf as my try scorer.
Okay, that's interesting.
Roosters Souths. Should we give Hainsey a call?
We should give Hainsey a call.
2 weeks in a row. Let's get him back on. Obviously, Roosters Souths. Hainsey the Roosters fan, Zane the Souths fan. We got to get Hainsey's take on
Surely.
it if he answers. Make sure you hold it close to the
Got the call
microphone
here.
for us. Just make sure you keep it close as well. Though we had some
Aha.
sound issues last week.
Oh,
Hang on, can you hear him? He's
is
answered,
Mr.
ladies and gentlemen.
Mr. Brendan Hainsey?
Keep it close.
Speaking.
There we go. Is he on
Speaking.
speaker? Make sure it's all the way up, just for the sake of the listener.
Hello, my friend.
Hainsey,
Sups.
who's winning on Friday, bruh?
Community. Huh?
We're currently previewing Rabbitohs versus Roosters on Friday night, and we'd like your take on who you think's going to win.
Well, first of all, sup, Orange Pillars community. Hope everyone's having a good week. And make sure you subscribe to Winston Neville and watch all the stuff on Apple, Spotify. You know the drill.
He's not even paid to say this. Hainsey, yeah, at least you knew who it was this
So we
week.
need a winner,
Just make
we
sure you keep
need
it
we need
close
the
to the
margin,
listener.
and we need an anytime try scorer. Who you got?
Winner, margin, anytime try scorer. Well, there's no secret who I'm backing. Roosters
Yeah.
1 to 12.
1 to 12, okay.
Do you want 1 to 12 or do you want...
Yeah, 1 to 12 or 13 plus. But maybe give an exact
Yeah,
margin.
why
actually.
not?
Yeah, why
why
not give an exact margin?
Just
What
make
do
sure
you
you keep
reckon?
it close so they can hear him.
I'll go Roosters by 8.
By 8, okay.
Yeah.
And then
Roosters by
anytime try scorer?
He's going to get
It's a
Jared.
bit of an omen, right? In game 300, I have to go Jared.
No, not happening. Not happening.
Mate, we love bold predictions here on Orange Pillars.
Actually, I'm going to give mine now.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Souths. I wanted to say 13 plus, but I'm going to stay safe, and I'm going to say 1 to 12.
Yeah.
And as my anytime try scorer, who else can score at this stadium is Latrell Mitchell
Oh.
at Trelliance. It's bound to happen.
Thoughts on that, Hainsey?
No comment. You can believe what you want, but we all know Roosters are winning. We all know that the rightful owners of Allianz Stadium is the City Roosters, and we'll prove that yet again. Winston, can you allow me to do some stats as D or Hainsey?
Yeah, go on. Give us some stats.
All right. South Sydney have won 4 of their last 15 games since round 13, 2023.
That's not good.
They have never won a regular season clash at Allianz Stadium, at the new Allianz Stadium.
No, we haven't, but we've played
Oh.
3 games there.
But you call it your home ground. You haven't won there.
I haven't called it. That's Latrell that
You
calls
call
it
it,
that.
yeah. Well, you call it Trillions. Yeah, continue, Hainsey.
Moving on. Roosters won 3 of the last 4.
Yeah, that's decent.
3 out of the last 4.
Who'd they
James
lose to?
Nesco's best try
No,
scoring
against
record
South.
Oh, okay.
is
Oh.
against South Sydney as well.
Fair enough.
It's,
And
stats don't
also,
lie.
Dean Hawkins has never won a game at South Sydney. Neither has Jack White.
Yes, he has actually. Dean Hawkins has won a game for South Sydney.
Oh,
Against the
we've got a
Roosters.
captain's
Not
challenge.
against the Roosters, but
That was my quote, though.
Okay,
so
well.
don't do your own research.
you didn't make
That's
that
some good
very
stats,
clear
I
there.
like
I'll tell you what, who's actually won a game against South Sydney for the Roosters. His name is Stan Smith, and he's going to be named in about 25 minutes. That's 5'8" for the Roosters. So,
Oh, is Kiri out?
Yes, it is.
true.
Kiri 11 days stand down for his concussion, so he's actually going to miss the Penrith game too because it's
Oh.
11 days exactly.
That could hurt.
But Hainsey, come on, surely you can back it. Latrell scores, at least.
No, he's not scoring. He's going to get bloody booed out of the building again.
We'll wait and see.
good
We'll have to
stuff.
wait and see. I'll see you on Friday.
All right, hang on, let me give,
We'll
let me
give
give my
Winston's
prediction.
predictions
'cause
here.
I want Hainsey to hear my
what's your
prediction.
prediction?
I'm on Roosters, 13 plus Hainsey.
Ooh.
And my try scorer, Sam Walker.
Ooh. Okay.
There you go.
Sammy boy, he's actually continuing on that stat. He has scored 2 out of his last 4.
I like
He has a
that.
fifth- Not bad. Not
I like to
bad.
hear that.
Round 25, 2022, and round 27, he scored against South.
Love it.
Fair
Good
enough.
stuff.
And why
good
don't we
stuff.
add another category in here? What's your bold prediction for the game? What do you reckon is going to happen? Like a
How many
bold
sin
call.
bins?
That will
I
happen.
already said that. Jared scores in game 300.
Okay, that's your bold call. My bold call is that Cody Walker does not get involved in a scuffle.
Is that bold?
Yes, it's bold. It's a bold
I'm
call.
hoping that's your bold prediction because they never come off.
Oh, that's my bold call.
that's good
Doesn't get
stuff.
involved in a scuffle. What about yours?
Oh, mate, I don't care.
How many
It's not my
sin bins?
team.
How many sin bins then?
How many sin bins? 2.
2, you reckon?
One each way.
One each way.
One each
okay.
way.
He's back into the game.
Hainsey, I was going to say before we let you go, on Friday, I expect to see a TikTok with one of those stats, put your house on the Chookies.
Do I get permission from
Yeah,
you?
you got permission from me, and you'll have to hit up Touchline and see if they want to give you permission as well. But yeah, I want to see that
I'll
TikTok.
do it. I'll do it on one condition
Yeah?
that you attend Friday night.
Oh, we'll see, mate. If you post it, it'll be a bit more motivation for me to attend.
You can't. Yeah, I'm going to your home on Saturday.
You know where I live, so
Yeah, I know where you live.
at Belmore, obviously.
I know where Zane lives as well.
All right, well, this is getting a bit creepy, so we're going to let you go, Hainsey.
Thanks for getting on, Hainsey. We'll hope to see you on Orange Peelers again in the future.
Yeah.
On Friday, go the Chooks.
Good luck on Friday, champ.
Yep, see you then, Hainsey.
I'm not going to wish Zane luck because he doesn't need it.
Yeah, I don't need it. South don't need it. Got all the luck we need.
Get any luck, he's going to lose.
Yeah.
All right, that'll
Anyway.
The Chooks. kick off.
See you then.
do. All right, great stuff as
There we
always.
go.
The great
That's
Hainsey.
Hainsey. He's very passionate at the moment, isn't he?
Loves these Chookies very much. Loves these Jared Hargraves. The next game, Zane, Hainsey sort of touched on it already.
I might
He
be
mentioned
attending
it.
This one as well.
Bulldogs Titans at the great Belmore Sports Ground. Multicultural round as well
It
this
is.
weekend at Belmore. Nothing is better than multicultural
I
round. at
might be
Belmore.
attending this, but for my prediction, I'm actually tipping the Titans.
Can I
bounce back after the bye?
Can I give you a fact before you continue on with your prediction? The Bulldogs are favourites this weekend.
They are.
How are the Bulldogs
Because
favourites?
of how dreadful Titans were, I guess.
Oh, I don't like it at all. I obviously you're in the middle of your prediction. I'll go back to you in a sec, but I think the Bulldogs are going to win. I'm confident we can win.
I think
But
yous can,
I
yeah.
think there is
But
so much
it's just-
value in the Titans. They're paying over $2 to win, mate. That is
I
value.
think Bulldogs can win. I can see a world where
Titans
they do.
can also win.
But the thing
A
is, I
lot.
feel like Des Hasler would be filthy after that loss. 'Cause They were dreadful, and they've had the bye. They've got to come out and make a statement here. I'm tipping them
give
1
you-
to 12.
I'll give you a stat to back you up. I
reckon
don't
it-
think we've beaten a Des Hasler coach side since he left the Bulldogs.
Haven't used.
And Manly always flogged us when he was coaching them. So,
But yeah, I just feel like this Titans need to make a statement and bounce back.
what's
here.
your margin?
Yeah, I'm going 1 to 12, but like at the higher end, it's like 10 point,
Yeah,
12
okay.
point.
And then try scorer.
I'll go Khan Pereira.
Do we know if...
Actually, is he even playing
Oh,
Khan
well, I
Pereira?
was going to say, do we know if Camprera, Fafita, Foreigner,
I know
Campbell...
Fafita's not, Campbell's not.
Oh, that's so good for us.
Foreign will be, I'm pretty sure.
What was
Foreign.
he out for?
He got ruled out. No, it was like something with his leg early in the game. No, Khan Pereira will play. Okay. I'll back
He,
Khan
as in,
Pereira.
Camprera is not injured now?
No,
Is that what you're going
no,
off?
he's- Yeah.
All right, that's not as good. I'm going Bulldogs 1 to 12. We're favourites. I don't think we should be favourites, but I think it's such a winnable game. I'll give you a stat. The Titans have never won at Belmore
Haven't they?
ever.
No, I
Titans have
disagree.
never won at Belmore.
I disagree.
Okay.
I swear I remember.
Nah, Titans
they-
have never won at Belmore. Guarantee it.
I swear they did 1 year.
Nah, Titans have never won at Belmore.
Let me go to 2018.
While you search that up,
Let me go to 2018.
I've got Jacob Kraz as my try scorer.
You are incorrect.
Really? Can I be honest with you?
2018.
Can I be
round
honest with
15.
you? I actually thought the Titans had never played at Belmore. Can I have a look? I don't
2018
even
round
remember that.
15.
I don't remember this game.
I remember.
I should have been there.
I actually remember watching this
And
game.
by John Olive. John Olive scored a try for us.
I remember watching this game. I'm like, I feel like that stat's incorrect.
Only 6,000 people were there. What? Why don't I remember this game?
It was 2018. Pretty
yeah,
forgettable year for the Dogs. Wasn't It?
Yeah. We had weird jerseys.
But I
that
just
year.
remember that game. I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's incorrect.
What
'cause
I was
remember-
going off was that I didn't think Titans had ever played at Belmore. That's why I was like, Titans have never won there. So Titans have never lost at Belmore.
No, they haven't.
That's not good. That is not good. Don't let BKR hear that. I don't remember this game at all. Maybe I wasn't there.
I don't think many people would remember it.
It says only 6,000 people there at a
God.
Belmore game.
But it is against the Titans as well. to be
Carrot Island
fair.
got knocked out. I'm just like watching the last, trying to jog my memory. I don't remember this at all.
Man,
Like,
6,000. There was a
at all.
Titans game. Remember that. So
yeah, well, I mean,
and both teams weren't
shout,
traveling too well
shout out to the
at that point.
Shout
but
out to the Titans. Never lost.
I remember.
At Belmore.
I remember that game. I'm like, I'm pretty sure
There
that
you
stat's
go.
incorrect.
Zane's
I'm
proved me
pretty
wrong.
sure.
Challenge successful.
I don't know
You-
how I can remember that game, to tell you the truth.
I can't believe you've remembered it and I don't.
don't. I
must have
can't- I
scrubbed
can't
it from
believe
my
I remember
memory. 28, and you like just named the year as
It was
well.
a 13. I remember
was
it was around
impressive.
that year. So
Yeah, that was very genuinely. I'm very impressed. You just gone. Yeah, they lost in 2018. Like, have you been doing research or something? That was so
for
impressive.
whatever reason, I remember that game.
There you go.
For some reason.
Well, no, that makes sense because the last time we'd won before last year was 2017. So yeah, that makes sense.
Or maybe I think there was rumours like Garth Brennan was under a lot of pressure in going
Yeah,
into that
okay.
game.
Garth
Like,
Brennan,
they
that's a
won and it
throwback.
saved him, but it was something. I remember the game for
I
some reason.
don't know why I don't remember it. Hey, that's so random that I just
But there we go. It's
I can name a lot of Bulldogs games, random Bulldogs games, and I have no recollection of that game. But I assume I
tipping the
wasn't
Titans,
there.
Winston Tiffany's dog.
Mate, now that I know that Titans have never won there, I'm like,
Never lost.
sorry. Now that I know Titans have never lost there, I'm like, that's not good. I'm gonna have to come up with a new stat. I can't believe BKR hasn't been smashing that, on his story tagging me going, Titans never lost at Belmore. That's a huge leg up for the Titans. But anyway, moving on. Dragons Cowboys. What do you reckon?
Was Dragons' first game at home for the year? They
Cogra?
could show up. No, I'll tip the Cowboys. I'm impressed by them at the moment.
Margin?
I'm trying to be excited about the Dragons, but no, I'll tip I'll go 1-12.
Ooh.
That's been nice.
Let's be nice.
That's been nice.
And
But it would
Troscora.
certainly blow out.
Troscora?
And this is in Sydney, remember? So
Yeah.
it's the Cowboys, so I'm not as
True.
confident about
That's
it.
valid.
Cowboys in Sydney.
That's valid.
Let's go Hammer to score again.
Hammer.
Hammer, no, I'm thinking Dolphins because the Dolphins smashed the Dragons. No, sorry.
You can go Hammer if you want, but
No,
you're not
no,
going to
I'm
be
going-
correct.
I'm going Tom Dearden.
Dolphins
I was
have
just
the-
thinking
Dolphins
Hammer,
have
'cause
the
I kept thinking
bye.
Dolphins Dragons last week. I was thinking Dolphins.
Nah, you're good, mate. I'm going Cowboys 13 plus. I'm going Scotty Drinkwater. Tigers Sharks. This one's a Tigers home game. If that
Going the
changes your
Sharks
mind
here.
at all.
I'm never tipping the Tigers again. I'm sorry. I've said it. I'm not. I'm going Sharks 13 plus, and I'm going to pick anyone
one
to
of the
score.
wingers?
Talakai.
Talakai.
Say Talakai.
Do you reckon every single
Literally
Sharks player is going to
anyone
score a
could
try?
in this game.
Do you think everyone will?
Probably
just
not.
everyone
I don't
can?
think there'll be 17 tries, but anyone can.
Anyone
They
can?
could score down the middle. They could score on the edges. They could score everywhere. Like, honestly.
Fair enough. Do you reckon
Filthy
they'll
at the
score?
target. Filthy at the
Do you reckon they'll
target,
score both the left, the right, and the middle?
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you reckon every position will score?
No.
So like
No.
I
won't go that far.
So like one winger, one centre, one half, one back row,
No,
one
no,
front
no,
row,
I won't
a
go that
hooker. Eels. Oh, sorry. Sharks, Tigers. I'm going 13 plus as well. Sharks, obviously 13 plus, and Teague Wilton to score.
Fair enough.
Liking what I'm seeing from him, and as you said, everyone will and can score. So I'm going Teague Wilton. Eels, Manly. Very
where's
close
this
game of the
at?
week. It's at Combank
Ooh.
at Parramatta. Sunday Arvo Parramatta. It is it's going to be a cracking game. I'm very
Hang
much
on.
looking
I
forward
need
to this
do
one.
something here.
While you do that,
I generally don't know.
I'm going Eels 1-12, but I can see it going either way. I'm just like Eels home game. They looked good against Panthers. They were good against the Dogs. I just this is so hard to pick, but I'm going Eels 1-12.
because I've been very impressed by
I'm on
Manly.
Sean Lane try scorer as well. He's looked good, but yeah. What
I'm
about
literally
you?
flipping a coin here.
Oh yeah,
Heads, I'm
I wanna
going.
watch-
Heads is Parramatta. Tails
I
is
like this.
Manly.
This
That's
is
how I'm doing it.
content.
Heads is Parramatta. Tails is Manly. It's Tails. I'm picking Manly.
Oh, how good this is.
I can't
rugby
pick.
league
I've been
tipping.
impressed
It's
by
a
both.
literally-
I'm going 1-12.
Do you want to flip the coin for the margin as well?
Fine.
Go
Tails
yeah.
is 13 plus. Heads is 1-12. It's 1-12.
And then
Okay,
I reckon
like
get
it.
up. Go one more. Go run a number generator for the try scorer.
Yeah, okay. You know
Why
what?
not?
Why not?
And then if this is all correct, you know what? I might put some money on this just because. Why not?
What, do you want to do 17?
Yeah, go. It's
13.
up to you.
13.
Probably 13.
Better odds.
Yeah.
1.
Oh.
Trebojevic.
Or is it Gutho?
No, it's Manly because
You're on Manly?
I'm Manly.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
So Trebojevic anytime. I
Oh,
like
that's
this.
pretty good. Manly 1 to
Yeah.
12 turbo. That's pretty standard. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's come
Prove
up well.
It's here.
And then Knights Storm
Right,
in
Storm.
Newcastle.
I mean, if they lose this, we can say, how did the Knights lose?
Yeah.
No, Storm, I think.
Jack Cogger try scorer.
Really good at the moment.
Margin.
I want to say Welch, the score.
Yeah.
Just to be funny.
Random.
Why not? Christian Welch and I'm 13 plus.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm Storm 13 plus as well. Already I would have been on Storm anyway, and then the Knights changes that they're making I just don't agree with. So Storm 13 plus, but Jack Cogger to score a try.
Okay.
Nah, not really. No,
gonna say, okay, fair enough.
I'm on Ryan Pappenhausen to continue his form. He looked good against the Warriors. I've got Paps to score a try. That's us done and dusted.
It is.
Good luck on Friday, Zane.
Yes, good luck with your tipping this week. I'm hoping
Yeah.
to get more than 5, but we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, 5's decent, but obviously, 6, 7, 8, that's where we want to be. It's always hard to get 8 out of 8 when you're a Bulldogs fan, but it is what it is. That'll do us. Let's chop, baby.